Hello, today I have my bottle of YSL La Nuit de l'Homme, a weak fragrance that many see as a tragedy because it used to be stronger. Today we're going to make any fragrance in your collection perform. Let's get into it. Today I'm giving you guys 5 easy to test ways to improve the longevity of any fragrance. Now these methods are very easy to test, but they don't necessarily improve projection if that's what you're expecting. So there's longevity, how long a fragrance lasts, and projection is how loud a fragrance is. For La Nuit de l'Homme, it is a tragically reformulated fragrance that only gets me about 4 hours on my skin nowadays. So I'm going to show you 5 different ways that I can increase the longevity of this. Number one is the most obvious and the most popular trick is to just apply a fragrance on your clothing. This takes a fragrance like La Nuit de l'Homme from 4 hours longevity to an all-day scent. And most fragrances actually on clothes are going to last days, if not weeks, on your clothing. So be careful when you accidentally get some perfume on your garments. The way this works is that clothing does not produce anywhere near as much heat as your skin. Clothing also sort of acts like a matrix that traps fragrance molecules more easily than skin does. So you'll have that aroma on your garments for a very long time. A lot of people say they get worried about staining their clothes with fragrances, especially with higher concentrated scents that have more fragrance oil in their formula. However, I always say that no matter what color shirt you're wearing, you can spray a fragrance from 40 to 50 centimeters. Doesn't matter how concentrated it is, as long as you have that distance, you will not stain your clothing. Just spray from a distance, 40 to 50 centimeters. Also note, because clothing doesn't have as much heat as skin, it's not going to make a fragrance project as much as skin does. Number 2 is use Molecule 02 by Eccentric Molecules. If you don't know the brand Eccentric Molecules, they specialize in fragrances that have only one ingredient. So their most famous release is Molecule 01, which has pure ISOE Super, which is meant to be a very nice, mass-pleasing scent on its own, but that also increases the longevity of other fragrances. However, I actually recommend you use Molecule 02 over Molecule 01 because Molecule 01 is pure ISOE Super, which is a note in perfumery that is used heavily already in most perfumes. For example, YSL La Nuit de l'Homme, I think, already has a large amount of ISOE Super in it. There are fragrances out on the market such as Terre d'Hermès where literally more than half of its fragrance oil is ISOE Super. So I found in my experience adding more ISOE Super makes a minimal difference when it's already so present in large amounts in these fragrances. It maybe extends longevity by 30 minutes to an hour. However, Molecule 02 is pure ambroxan. Ambroxan is a base note that's meant to replicate ambergris, which is a natural ingredient made from whale excrement that already lasts a very long time. Ambroxan is a very long-lasting, slightly warm, woody, musky scent that is not found in most perfumes. You layer it on your skin first, wait for it to dry for a second, then spray the fragrance on top of it. I find that it makes a minimal difference to the scent profile whilst also increasing longevity by around 2 hours. I find it's a lot more efficient than Molecule 01. As I said, ambroxan is not found anywhere as commonly as ISOE Super is. Maybe that'll change in the future, but at the moment, this is the case. Tip number 3 is use Vaseline. Everyone knows this trick about moisturizing the skin first before applying a fragrance. I find that actually this is a bit of a myth because with moisturizers, the thin ones, I find it makes minimal difference to longevity for fragrances on my skin personally. However, Vaseline is a thicker petroleum jelly-like moisturizer where it doesn't feel as nice putting on your skin, but I do find it increases longevity by around an hour. So it's not a huge amount still, but I find it's a lot more effective than just any moisturizer. Use the thicker stuff like Vaseline. Tip number 4, this might sound like a silly suggestion, but literally on the same spot that you spray the fragrance, just spray for a second time again on top of the fragrance. So do a double spray on the same spot of skin. My theory is that this increases longevity of a fragrance because you're building a thicker layer of oil of the fragrance that makes more of a barrier between your skin and the perfume. It sounds like a troll suggestion, like I'm just making a stupid joke, but I promise you guys, a lot of guys don't appreciate this. This is actually a very effective technique. Double spraying for me has increased longevity of La Nuit de l'Homme from 4 hours to 6 hours. So do not underestimate this trick. I learned this trick from Michelle at Curly Fragrance, so credit goes to her. And number 5 is a bit of a cheat, but I'm going to recommend to you to get your favorite fragrance and put it in a portable atomizer. Carry around your favorite fragrance wherever you go. Us guys can just have a spare pocket somewhere where we put it there, and halfway through the day we just reapply. This is a cheat, but it does get you the result you're looking for, and it lets you re-experience the top notes at the beginning of the fragrance again throughout the day. So don't underestimate it. I'm going to leave a link to a good quality atomizer from Amazon in the description below. And that's the video for you guys. It is very frustrating when we spend a lot of money on some fragrances and they don't perform. However, I think using a combination of these tips can really make any fragrance you want go from a weakling to a lion beast mode fragrance. Well, not beast mode, but much stronger at least, and much more efficient for you by using these tips. This all sounds like common sense, but I would generally say use a higher number of sprays on weaker fragrances, spray a lot on your clothes, double spray on your skin points, and you should be all right. And then last resort is, of course, use an atomizer to reapply throughout the day. Did you guys find these tips useful? Did you learn anything new from this video? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'm wondering, do you guys have any other suggestions for people to increase longevity on their fragrances? Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to check out our other videos on how to apply a fragrance, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.